Now, period poverty is said to be a pervasive issue impacting up to 7 million South African girls, rendering our girl children unable to attend class while menstruating. 16-year-old Simran Sahib, founder of the initiative Legacy Gala for Girls, is drawing much-needed attention to this issue. Simran joins us now for further insight. Simran, thanks for speaking to us. Let's start off with a conversation by looking at what is period poverty.
Thank you so much for having me on. So, period poverty refers to when many girls and women in South Africa are forced to stay at home because they cannot afford the necessary sanitary wear. And this is a huge issue because it affects 7 million girls across the country, where 30% of them are schoolgirls who cannot attend class and have to stay away from school, which is absolutely heartbreaking.
Now, obviously, there are many other issues around this, and some of the challenges schoolgirls suffer also include water, availability of water and sanitation. So talk to us about the overall impact that the period, or certainly the menstruation process, has on young girls.
So what happens is, because girls are on their periods, this leads to high absenteeism in school because they feel like they're too embarrassed to be on their period that they stay away. And what this does is it leads to them to drop out of school, which is highly dangerous because it perpetuates the gender gap, especially in subjects like science, technology, math, and engineering, which is vital for their futures. Girls tend to fall behind, which impacts their lives and leads to teen pregnancies as well as child marriages. And this can also affect their future earning potential and lead to intergenerational poverty, as well as have major issues with regards to their self-esteem and health outcomes.
Now, you talk about 7 million girls being impacted. That's a huge, huge number. What is being done, or what can be done to deal with some of these issues?
So there are many solutions that we as a society and as individuals can do to help end period poverty, including legislative changes, national advocacy, something as simple as just having these open discussions with the people around us, spreading the word. But something we can all do to get involved and really help make a difference with this is to support initiatives and organizations. One of the organizations which I founded is the Legacy Gala, which is done for girls, by girls. And the aim is to not only raise awareness for these girls, but to also involve them in the process so they can take back to their communities what they learn and spread the word, so that we can change the narrative on the girl child in Africa, and each girl can get the opportunity to showcase their own true interpretation of what they believe it means to be a young lady in Africa, as well as bridge that social gap and educate young women through empowerment workshops so they themselves can become ambassadors and influence others, so that we have this ripple effect that in the long run can end period poverty.
Simran, I have to be honest that I was unfamiliar with the term period poverty until literally a week ago when I heard a conversation on radio, and I was absolutely astounded to the impact and some of the solutions or the remedies that girls are having to find to deal with the issues of their monthly periods, including the use of cloths, leaves and sand.
Absolutely. It's ridiculous that these young women are having to go to these drastic measures when something as simple as a pad should be accessible to everybody, should have access to it.
Now, what can men do? And I say men typically because as a man and as a father, I mean, I was not aware to the extent that all of this is happening and its impact on so many young girls. And I suppose the general conversation would normally be between a mother and her daughter, but certainly fathers and guardians and certainly other responsible males can get involved.
I think it's very important that men are equally as educated on this discussion and topic just as much as women. With this organization, in the long run, I don't want it to just be something that empowers women, but something as well that men can be involved in, because it's important that the generation up and coming of men feel comfortable with the idea of women getting their periods, so that we can eliminate this negative social stigma attached to it.
Now let's talk about costs. What are the monthly costs of sanitary wear? Basic costs, if you will, for a young girl.
So I think that's dependent on the kind of brand that you use, but on average it should be about 30 Rand a month, which, as I said, it depends on how much the girl bleeds, where she's from, the amount of cotton needed in that particular pad as well.
So 30 Rand could significantly impact, well, positively, the life of a young girl. And how can people get involved that would like to support the cause that you speak to?
So anybody who would like to get involved can please contact us at info@thenishmarket.co.za, as well as DM us on Instagram at the Legacy Gala SA.
Now, just a reminder before we let you go, talk to us again about the Legacy Gala for Girls initiative. What is it that you are doing? What impact have you made?
So the aim for the Legacy Gala is to not just raise awareness and funds for the girls with no access to sanitary wear, but to also give girls the opportunity to be involved in the process, as well as the chance to speak their own minds, to learn and develop as individuals so that they can take what they learn back to their communities and have a ripple effect on the people around them and impact them as well. In fact, we've already started our empowerment workshops where girls have been taken and selected from different regions, and we're working together because there's so much that I can learn from another girl my age who comes from a different environment, and there's so much she can learn from me. So the whole idea of this is for us to work together.
Simran Sahib, thank you for your time this afternoon. And she's the founder of the initiative Legacy Gala that speaks to period poverty and how it undermines South African young girls. And she was talking about numbers as high as 7 million impacting young South African girls. And obviously, as Women's Month draws to a close, the encouragement is for all of us to do what we can to help.